Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Abled with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands together if you are ready to get the show started. Let's go. Peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of Disabled is Able. We're now Wonder Twin Powers activated. Hey, we are all back together. Fredy is in the building.
It's like the Power Rangers, though.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Phone, Yes. So Fredy, you've been on vacation. Tell us how.
Yes.
Was your vacation? South America?
Great. South America, Colombia, Cartagena, Colombia to be specific.
Okay. Okay.
I was there for like a month. I saw a lot of family. Like the 95% of my family is from there. So I saw like the majority of them. There were still a few people I didn't see. Right. It was refreshing to see them. It's been 2 years since I've been.
Yes.
So it was good. I went out with a few friends. It was good. And then I also did therapy down there.
Did you get a few drinks? Because you're old enough to drink. Yeah, old enough to drink. Clap that up. These ain't, ladies and gentlemen, these are not children. These are grown men now. Yes. So you gotta get.
They only drink dark whiskey and beer. That's literally all you see.
Okay. All right. So you gotta take it light.
Yeah.
I like dark whiskey.
Yeah, like dark
beer. Yeah. I wasn't really a fan, but like now that I've had it more, I'm kind of a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Eli, you're
best weekend I've had.
Best weekend in football ever.
I pulled up to this epic game. We didn't know it was gonna be epic because at first it was like slow.
Yeah.
But then by the third quarter, it was crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially that fourth quarter. Woo.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. We'll get into it. Other than that, I've been good.
Good. Well, let's get right into it.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Okay, the weekend started out with the Bangles and Titans. You had the Bengals in that game.
I had the Bengals too.
You had the Bengals too. I had the Titans. I felt that they had enough rest. They were bringing back Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And I felt they're at home and that after 31 years of never being in the playoffs, the Bengals should just
and they had more weapons. Like they had more of it.
Right.
Julio Jones, AJ Brown. Like what else do you need?
And listen, the defense did their job. You know?
Yeah. Yep, they said Joe Burrow 9 times.
9. That's a record. They tied a record for sacking a quarterback. Usually, when you sack a quarterback 9 times,
you're gonna win a game.
And he's usually beat up, disoriented. Right. This guy kept getting up and kept firing the football.
It's like he knew he was gonna get sacked.
Right. He was getting me frustrated because I'm thinking, Joe, there's times where he's at the 30 about to punch it in, and he's not throwing the ball away.
Yes.
Enough. Just throw it away.
Right.
Walk away with 3 points because your defense right now is sort of doing their job.
Yeah. Both defenses were doing their job. Tannehill made 2 mistakes, man.
Yeah, okay.
The very first play of the game.
But before that, he found AJ Brown for like 50 yards.
Well, I'm going back to the beginning of the game.
Okay.
They come out
the first play.
Right there.
And what happens usually, the first 15 plays are drawn up. Right. You know, every team knows when we get the ball, we're gonna run these set of plays.
Right.
Then these set. You come out and you throw an interception. It deflates the team.
Right.
So he immediately deflated the momentum of the team.
They won the coin toss. The defense not expecting to be on defense yet because we just won.
Right. And with that being said, then he was moving the ball a little bit, and then the second half started. Mm-hmm. Very close game, 9-6 or something.
Right. Yeah.
He came out and his very first time touching the ball.
He
threw another pick.
Right.
So I'm like,
I think that one did that one hit off one of his wide receivers?
No, I think that was the one where they would
it looked like a screenplay, and then the defender had his hands up. And
right. Yes.
I think that was the one.
That was the pick.
And I think that was a pick 6, no?
No, it was. It should have been.
It should have been a pick 6.
But he got tackled by Tannehill.
Yeah, so those were momentum, and then late in the game with an opportunity to march down the field.
About
And
40
win it.
seconds left.
That's the one that
That's
tipped.
the one you win.
Yeah, that's the one that got tipped.
That's the one that got tipped.
And dude, you kill your team as a quarterback when you throw 3 interceptions.
And
When he got 30 interceptions, I was going crazy. I was like, oh my God. Like, how do you?
Yes.
And it was like 20, 30 seconds left.
Yeah. And it was already at the 50. So now I only got to go really 10, 15
yards.
And they did that the first play.
And they got that kicker, that young, cocky kicker who told them, we're going to the AFC Championship game before he kicked the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but again, very good game.
But here's the thing. I looked at this matchup, and I looked at both defenses. I was like, okay, cool. If the Bengals defense can show up, then it's just going to be a quarterback battle.
Yeah.
And I said, I like Joe Burrow
more
personally than Tannehill.
Yeah, he's
and
overrated.
I said,
he's overrated to me.
If Derrick Henry is not 100%, which he wasn't, he was just selling himself.
He wasn't 100%, but he did give you some.
But I would have. First of all, on those 3rd and 1s and like 3rd and 2s where you need that first down to keep the drive going, I would have had Freeman in there because Freeman had just ran for 54 yards.
He sure did. He sure
right
did.
Before I think Tannehill threw that second pick.
Yes, exactly.
And it was like, yo, just use Freeman and then use Henry for certain situations.
And see what my philosophy is the way you keep a quarterback on the sideline is with a running game. Right. That's how you beat Patrick Mahomes and guys like that. You have, and I said the one team that has a running game is the Titans. And so instead of Burrow don't have enough chances to get loose, and you run and you run the clock out.
Because they had a lot of 4 and outs.
Yeah.
And he got sacked 9 times. And the first time I seen him get sacked 9 times and you win again.
Right. And Joe Nixon broke out for one big
touchdown. One time.
Yes.
That kind of that put them up 10. Tannehill capitalized off of it by throwing that one-handed catch. AJ Brown.
Oh, that was a beautiful touchdown.
Because he's going backwards.
Oh man, he put it where only his guy could get it. Oh, that might have been the best throw in terms of just putting it where it had to be all weekend.
And dude, you have 45 seconds left. You at the 40.
And the last play where he threw the pick, it was not even going to AJ Brown, and it wasn't going to It was going to somebody else. It was going to Westbrook.
Right. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, if you're gonna go down with your
go down with the heavy hitters.
With the heavy hitters.
And Julio, he didn't really use him in terms of like, let me get him a slant here.
Dude, they haven't been using him all season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you trade for a man? Get a 2nd-round pick, which in the NFL is valuable.
Yes, absolutely.
2nd-round pick for all-star receiver and not use it at all.
No.
Because the difference between, like, for example, Diggs and Julio, Buffalo was actually using Diggs to get Davis free.
Yes. Yeah. As a decoy. Because you knew that they were going to double Diggs. Right. And which we'll talk about. Let's get there. But great game. To start it off.
To the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Then we had the 49ers and Packers. I lost this game as well. I
was up enough. I didn't really care, but like I expected you anyway.
Yeah, I'm saying, listen, you got the number 1 seed in the NFC
for the second time in a
row. You know what happened last year. You're probably going to win the MVP again.
I feel like, and to add on to that, I feel like 2 years ago when Nick Bosa and that defense was ferocious, I said that was the only reason why the Packers to me lost that NFC Championship game.
Yeah, because that defense was fire.
It was no way Aaron Rodgers was going to survive that.
Richard Sherman was on
that. Yep.
Phenomenal. This defense is not that defense.
But it's still very solid.
Right.
Like average.
The front four.
Average.
The front four
is better than average. Yeah,
right.
But the secondary was pedestrian.
And then you got to understand, they was fighting to get in the playoff. Those are very dangerous teams because that means their playoffs started 2 weeks before everybody else.
Right.
Then they was down 17 against the Rams in the last game of the season. If they don't win that, they're not in. So they were already hungry. Then they come in and they beat, who they beat the first week? The Cowboys. Just, they didn't have a very good game, but the Cowboys had a terrible game.
Right.
So they was able to escape that. And then they had this
And
momentum.
the clock was on their side for
Yes,
that game.
man.
That was marching on the field, and they looked like they was about to win.
And I looked at Aaron Rodgers' record. I said, okay, he's 0-3 against this team.
Yes.
I said, there's no way he's going to lose to them again.
And the weather was perfect. This is Lambeau Field.
Yeah, perfect for Green Bay.
That's what I mean. It's
And
snowing.
Debo was hobbling every single play.
Yes.
After his drive or whatever,
Yeah.
he was like 1 foot going off the field,
Yeah,
coming
so
right back.
To me, it should have been a Packers win.
It should have been a Packers win. When we got to halftime, and it was only 7 points.
That's unexcusable.
That was
Inexcusable.
inexcusable.
That's inexcusable.
Yeah.
And then, because right before halftime, he threw a 50-yard bomb.
Yes.
To
Adams.
Jones.
Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Alan Jones.
Oh yeah, I remember that play.
And I'm thinking Aaron's
I'm
going to
like,
go
all
all
right,
the way
he's gonna
in.
get
That's when I turned the TV off.
Right.
I said, let me get a little quick nap. I said, obviously, we're going to go up 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Before the half, Aaron Rodgers is rolling.
I thought it was going to be 14-0. I said, okay, cool. You up 2 touchdowns. That means that even if they get the ball back into 1/3, just up by a touchdown.
Right.
And then they
blocked the punt.
Couldn't get it in. It's a field goal kick. So I was like, okay, cool. Blocked the field goal kick. I said,
I was like, nah. When I saw them block the field goal kick,
Yeah.
I was like, no way. I don't feel confident in them
So-
winning this game. And to me, it was like they were playing offense, but like they were scared. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know what
right,
it
yeah,
was. It's just
yeah.
like,
Conservative.
they were conservative. They were like, all right, they reminded me of, when the Warriors kind of like, they used to like turn it on, turn it off. Type of thing.
Right.
I was waiting for them to turn it on, and they never turned it
Right,
on.
and they never turned it on. And then so long story short, we get into, it's 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is 10-3, Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they only scored 3 points so far.
Yeah, in the second half.
That's
the last 3 quarters, to be honest.
That's
right.
Like, just terrible.
So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Because the ball started off at the 25. Aaron played bad. He misthrows it, takes a big sack. So now it's kind of they in the tight pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now this punt has to go perfectly.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I saw the punt, the missed field goal. I'm thinking, okay, there's no way they do it again.
Right, yes.
And they blocked it.
Somehow they blocked it
I was
again.
like, no.
And then the ball just bounced
I was
perfectly.
screaming. I was like, no way, they block again.
Yes.
And now it's tied. I said, once they tied it,
that momentum,
I said, Packers might lose.
And they was like, it took the life out of Lambeau.
Yeah,
Like,
because you got to remember, listen, it's 3 components to that. It's offense, defense, and special teams.
And normally...
And special teams could change. And I heard their special teams was terrible all year long.
Yeah.
Even on the final field goal, they only had 10 players. Like, before San Francisco kicked the field goal, Green Bay only had 10 players on the field.
Right. And then in practice, really, you don't really focus on special teams like that.
No, you give it a few minutes, but you don't. Those are really athletic guys who may make a play for you.
But the only coach I know that spends his time with special teams is Bill Belichick.
Right.
Because he's critical about those type of
mistakes.
Mistakes.
Yep.
It's 10-10 with 4 minutes left. That whole thing took 2 minutes. I'm thinking, okay, as long as you don't get the ball back to the San Francisco, I'm thinking you at the 25. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
And they're either gonna get a field goal, go up 13-10. The defense will help them out, or punch it in.
Yeah, win the game.
And we'll still win the game. Aaron just on the 3rd and 12, it's about 3 minutes left. He throws to Aaron Adams. I'm sorry. He throws
Wasn't
to
he
Adams.
in double coverage or something?
He double covered, and I'm like, Leonard was wide open, cutting the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Oh, Lazard.
Yeah, Lazard, yes.
And then after that, he got hurt, so he was not available.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, throw it to Lazard, because I'm watching him play. I'm like, throw it to Lazard. He could have easily got you 30 extra yards, because nobody was, it was all green.
And then the ball game changes, yes.
And then it could have been a pick, too, like the ball went out of bounds or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, the difference between San Francisco and Green Bay, like, San Francisco, they started throwing it. And, Jimmy G is not what he used to be when he went to Super Bowl again.
But when it was time,
but they just
and then
with the
3rd and
game
7
on the line,
for you to run it with Debo.
They started running it. Yes.
That 3rd and 7, I said there's no way they're gonna run that, and they ran it with Debo. That's what you do. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. when you talk about going out with your heavy hitters.
Right.
That's what they did.
Yes. They ran the ball with Debo like every other play.
Yep.
Because the man hobbled off the field. I'm like, oh, he's hurt. They're going to take advantage of this. The weather is getting worse for them.
Right.
Yes.
They got to take advantage of this.
And
no, the man came back every other play, ran it again. And if it wasn't a run, it was a little scheme, little tiny pass, something that Jimmy could do.
Yes.
Nothing crazy. So that all he had to do was dunk it to Debo, and then he would give you like 20, 30 yards.
Yes.
And in terms of
and it was milk and clock.
Yep.
Milk and clock.
Aaron Rodgers, his
This hurts his legacy. Like, this is bad.
This is very bad.
This is very bad.
pedestrian, dude.
Yeah,
You're about
this
to
is
have how many MVPs? 4 now.
Yeah, 4 MVPs.
Listen, Brady just lost 2. But nobody's talking about the fact
Oh,
that
no,
Brady
'cause he
lost.
got
Nobody really
7.
cares.
Seven.
One, he
Super
had
Bowls.
7 Super Bowls, and 2, he didn't play pedestrian.
Right.
Yeah, he showed up. Brady showed up and he tied it. He did his job. The defense was the one that lost the game.
And so what is Aaron Rodgers going to do?
He's gonna. Okay, first of all,
I think he's going to stay.
I can't look at him. I can't put him in elite class anymore.
No, he's definitely going to be first ballot Hall of Famer.
No,
He's
I'm
gonna
not.
get
I'm not questioning his Hall of Fame.
But we're talking about elite.
I'm talking about in terms of.
I think he goes to Pittsburgh and wins one more.
Yeah, but first of all, the AFC is just as hard as the NFC.
I think he goes to
matter.
Pittsburgh is an iconic franchise. They always have great defense. I think he goes. That's his childhood team that he grew up rooting for. Brady did it, even though Brady was coming to Tampa Bay with 6 Super Bowls already.
Right.
I think the upgrade for Pittsburgh right now after Roethlisberger, if you bring in Aaron Rodgers,
Right.
with that defense, it's going to be a tough
But
division.
can you trust him to deliver in the
But I don't really
postseason?
trust that offense.
I trust him to be Aaron Rodgers.
But then that means he doesn't show up in the. Because if you're saying
No. Here's the thing.
It depends on the schemes. Like,
It's different coaches. Tomlin
gonna make sure he gets
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So looking,
You know what I mean?
looking at half and half because he's played 3 seasons with LaFleur,
Yeah.
right? And he's
Who's a great regular season
Yeah,
coach.
who's a
great.
great. Okay, and he's played about 7 games, probably postseason games.
And
with,
he didn't really make a mistake
with
on this game. Not
No,
that-
well, with special
LaFleur,
teams.
no, but whoever's play calling,
for
whoever's calling the plays, they're calling very pedestrian plays. Man.
and he's only going to 2 people, Aaron Jones and
Yeah, man, you
Adams.
got to take some shots down the field, man. I'm sorry.
Now I feel like he did that, but he only did that with Adams.
Dude, if
It
you
don't
only,
matter,
if
bro.
you only scored
And
3
he's the best wide
points,
receiver on the floor.
if you
I'm
only
going in
scored
100 times if I have to.
3 points in the second half, you didn't take enough shots.
Yes, you did it. And I feel
That's
like
true.
he never threw the ball. Every time I would look up, it was already 3 and out. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Okay, so and then with Mike
And then they
McCarthy,
started running it.
right?
And the running game wasn't working. Because
Okay.
that front four, like you said, is elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The defense, credit to the defense. They did
Yeah,
their
yeah,
job.
they did their job. They did their job.
I'm not even talking
I just
about
think his legacy is definitely in jeopardy. He either A has to
It's
stay
been in jeopardy for the last
for
4
the last
years.
2-3 years.
But
Yes,
if he
I
would have
know
won
that.
this year,
It would
Oh,
have
would've
been
been-
better.
it
we would
would've-
have gave him a lot
Right.
more credit.
That's what I'm
now,
saying.
in the last 30 years, the Green Bay Packers have had 2 of the best quarterbacks in history,
Absolutely.
but they only got 2 Super Bowls to show for it.
Right, because
Brett Favre won one,
and then
and he
Aaron
won
Rodgers.
one.
Right, okay. And then Mike McCarthy.
That's terrible, Kenny. That's terrible.
You only won a few games with Mike McCarthy. I think Matt LaFleur is a better coach. That's why I thought he was going to go further with Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Well,
So
but
do you
like,
think
that
Mike-
defense is not even that like you saw last year the Tampa.
Yeah, but hold
Dominated
on.
that
That defense got them 3 interceptions in the 4th quarter against Tom Brady.
That is true.
And he had 4. You got 4 possessions now.
Yeah, to do
And you
something.
still didn't punch it in.
That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That is true.
Well, that's
So
the way
I
it
don't know.
goes.
I don't know.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Able.
And then this thing turned up on
Podcast.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
I
we
had
had-
the Rams in this game.
I had the Bucks.
I don't know. I was torn, just because I'm a really big Brady fan,
Yes.
and I'm also a really big Odell fan. You guys know this.
Right.
Yes.
So I didn't really care, but
Now-
like I had a feeling Tom
Home-
Brady was going, you know.
Home court was big on both teams because whoever wins
yes.
gets home court for the next round.
Right,
Now,
for the next round, right.
The Rams, though, if they won, which they did, they get a chance to have 2 home games for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's big. So this game for me, the reason I picked the Rams is because all season long when I watched the Bucs games, they didn't look as dominant
as they did last year.
Right. It seemed like they were waiting for the playoffs.
Defense or
no, just overall. They scored. They got beat by 3 field goals with the Saints. They didn't even score.
Right. Yeah, I remember that game.
So it's kind of weird.
Somebody was mad. That's when he broke the tablet.
Right. So it's kind of weird. And then I knew he wouldn't have Godwin and
AB. And then AB.
Right, AB. So Tom didn't have enough weapons to me.
They just got Leonard the fullback that game.
Right, and or Fontaine. Fournette. And then I said with Donaldson and Von Miller coming through
and they played exactly like how they did in the
I said
Von Miller got the Brady a lot of times.
So I said with that kind of pressure and him not being a mobile quarterback, see the only way you beat Tom Brady, your front 4 has to do his job. If you send more than that, he's gonna kill you.
Right.
If you blitz him, he's gonna kill you. So if your front 4 can get the pressure needed, and from the onset of the game, they did. They went up 27-3, and I started having Super Bowl nightmares.
51 nightmares?
I started saying, don't tell me. I said, nah, it ain't no way the Rams are going to let that happen. And like the flip of a switch, the Rams started playing incompetent football.
Yeah, because they had the ball right before half.
Right.
And they gave it to their running back. And he was at the 5-yard line.
Fumbled the ball. And I said, that might come back to haunt him.
Luckily, they didn't, because if they had 2 minutes or 3 minutes left on the clock, he would have punched that in and made it 10-27.
And then, late in the game, their field goal kicker missed an easy kick.
Right, to make it 30.
And I said that might come back to haunt him. And then we had the miscommunication with the high ball.
Cooper Kupp fumbled it.
Right, and then one time, Brady and them went for 3, and I said, why would they do that? But they were doing the math.
Right.
And then slowly but surely, that momentum began to change. And I looked in Brady's eyes and I said, here we go again.
Right. Because that route that Mike Evans ran on Ramsey, I was surprised he beat Ramsey.
Yeah, he beat Ramsey on a one-on-one.
Boom.
Because he's not as fast as Ramsey.
Because Ramsey didn't like the man that was covering Mike Evans.
So he switched.
He was like, all right, move it to the other side. I got him.
And he got beat over the top.
Yeah, because Evans is taller, but he is a little bit bulkier.
Right.
But he is not that fast, though, in terms of, like, speed.
So now the score is what? 14?
No, then it's
27. Oh, no, 13-27. I think that's when I left it off.
No, it was 27-20.
Right, 27-20.
And all they got to do is run the ball out.
Right. All they got to do is run the ball out. Their running back fumbles it again.
And Dominican Sue
knocked the ball out. And now the ball is at the 40. Because it's not at...
Yeah.
They only got to go 40 yards.
Yes.
It was a 4th and 1. I thought they were going to do a quarterback sneak. They ended up running it to Leonard. And it was one dude who had to just tackle him.
And he missed him.
Broke out. Now it's 27-27. What, 40 seconds left. I said,
42
okay, cool.
seconds. And I said, oh, boy.
I said, okay, cool.
Here we go.
But y'all don't know, me and my dad, we had 3 bets except for the one game, which was the Packers game. So I'm picking the Bucs. He's picking the Rams. I was hyped. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Matt gets the ball. I saw the first sort of Cooper Kupp. I said, okay, cool. They're at the 50. I said, all right. Because... No, they was at the 40. They was right below the 50. I said, okay, cool. So Matt hiked the ball. My TV froze. I don't know what happened. Then I hear him yelling. So I was like, oh, maybe Matt did do a pick. Because he's known to
Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah. Going to come back. Yeah.
And he was like, oh, Cooper Kupp going to 50. I said, a 50-yard bomb. And I'm looking at the play. I'm like, whose man was that?
Yeah. He got caught flat-footed. See, Cooper, they call that play the dream play. You know we're not going to really throw you the ball, but run the route anyway. In practice, that's what they call a play. And as he peeled off from the line, he caught Griffin just flat. See, if I got full speed ahead, you almost got to start running before I get to you.
Right, so you get momentum.
Right, so you can get momentum. He didn't do that. He got caught flat-footed, and it was over.
It was a
perfect throw, and Brady just could sit there and go, wow.
And that's the third time he's.
And then as soon as he caught it, Stafford is like, he's doing the little hand signs that he always does. Yeah. And then when he does the hand sign, it reminded him of the Detroit play that he did.
Right. Oh, when he snuck it in for the touchdown.
When he snuck it in for the touchdown.
I saw that play. And it reminds me of when all Tom Brady's Super Bowl losses, except for the Seahawks one.
Yeah.
See, but this loss is not bad on Brady. Like, I expected it.
Brady fought.
Brady did his job. That's the difference between him and Rodgers.
Right.
Brady did the job.
Yeah.
Like, mind you, a lot of the chips were falling in his favor. Like, they always kind of do.
Right.
But, like, he still did the job. Like, he marched out the field twice.
If he walked off and never came back, I could understand.
Exactly.
Because he did everything in his power to put his team.
I think for the first time he's really considering that. I think because his wife is kind of giving him as much leeway as she possibly can.
Yeah.
And she's tired of it now.
Yeah.
She's been tired of it, but I think she's always kind of giving him
a little bit of
olive branch.
Because you want him to be happy. You don't want him moping around at home.
And if you think about it, this is good because this is competition. This is going to fuel him to keep going.
But here's the thing. What more do you have to fight for?
No, he's not fighting. It's like his internal competition. Like, yo, I just got beat.
Still, you have 7 rings.
I know.
You know. What more? No. What more did you want?
Because watch this. If he lose next year, now it's like it seems like he stayed 2 years longer than you.
Yeah, you're just around here.
Because if you lose next year, because the competition is better now.
I know that. And that's the point I'm trying to make. The competition is getting better. He has a reason to compete now. I know the what if. And I understand. I understand what y'all saying. But I'm saying
he's number one in passing yards.
Is getting
he's
better.
Number one in touchdowns, and he's now officially number one in.
Man, think about all the quarterbacks he's beaten to get the Super Bowl and win.
Yeah.
Were there any of caliber? That was great. Were there any of caliber as the quarterback you've seen in the last 2 weeks? In terms of quarterback.
You talking about his run last year?
I'm talking about the majority of his runs. And the majority of his wins, the quarterback.
His greatest Super Bowl run was last year. Because he had to beat Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying. Besides last year, when he had to beat Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back.
His next...
Were there any of them in terms of quarterback play?
He had to
beat Russell Wilson.
Besides Russell Wilson, it was kind of just weak competition.
He had to beat Peyton Manning to get there a couple of times.
Right.
We give him a little credit for that.
Yeah. He beat Joe Flacco, He
beat Flacco.
Yeah, but Flacco was not.
True.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, now that he sees the playing field and he sees
I do understand.
Joe Burrow's on the rise, Josh Allen is taking over. Patrick Mahomes is definitely taking over. Aaron Rodgers is still... But
here's the thing too.
Aaron Rodgers.
He really might consider it this time because he got lucky this year.
Did you see his Instagram post?
No,
it's not looking like he's gonna retire. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
Tom Brady's not retiring.
Hold on.
He's not retiring.
Hold on.
The loss is not as bad because the way he lost.
But it's funny because
in a nail bite.
The way he lost, it hurts more too. Because you were right there.
That is true.
He knows if he had got the ball, they win. Right. If he had got the ball on the corner loss, like if he had win in overtime, he's just going to win that game, and that would have just added to his legacy again.
Exactly.
God, jeez.
Coming back from
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, here's the thing. First of all,
and like in terms of regular season, he's not the Tom Brady he used to, but he's still maintaining the numbers.
He put up crazy numbers.
Because of the weapons he has. Okay, AB's not going to be there. Okay, fine. But you still got...
But that's my point. 15 of the players that came back this year are not coming back next year. Because he got lucky this year because
they all agreed to come back.
They all agreed to come back to
take pay cuts. Now guys are thinking about their money. Yeah, their money now.
And if I'm not going to... And he might lose his offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah, all those things matter.
I mean, yeah, it does influence, but I'm saying...
So he's going to look at the landscape.
He's going to look at the landscape. But in terms of competition,
now you're going to...
He has a reason to stay.
Competition.
He has a reason to stay. I know what you're saying. You saw what he said. He won
look,
number 7.
look.
He won number 8.
Look, Giselle.
It's the Kobe mentality, bro.
Yeah.
We got to post a Kobe right here.
Yeah.
This is literally the reason.
Okay,
he's
but
Kobe
eventually,
in football. You know this.
but eventually, Kobe tore his Achilles.
I know that.
and then was
I know
like,
that.
you know what?
Father
But
Time.
the level of play is still there. That's what I'm trying to
Oh
argue.
yeah, the level of play is there.
And
but now,
I don't know. I don't really know
now
about
the
that.
competition is greater, so he's got to think about. Forget about the competition. If he can't put a team on, if the Buccaneers can't put a formidable team in front of him, he's just gonna look like a quarterback who's playing for
Yeah, an
numbers.
average company. Yeah, exactly.
Right, and he
Average
hates their mentality because there's been multiple times weeks going into the playoffs.
Yes.
When he was saying they're losing focus.
Right, they're not on the
Like
same
he was
page.
subliminally throwing shots at them.
Yeah.
And this is what
And he was
missing.
throwing shots. I don't think he likes Bruce Arians.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think so either. I think the only reason why he waited Tampa was because they already had weapons.
Right.
Yes.
And that was
he
where
knew
he
he
was
could
missing.
He
put
knew
himself
he
in
could
there
put
and do
himself
something.
in and do his thing.
That was the one thing he was missing from Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick made sure everybody was tight knit
On the same page.
on the same page.
Yep.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
And now the game of the year, century, or whatever.
Yeah.
That Chiefs-Bills game, I took the Bills in this game.
Yeah, I took the Bills.
I took the Chiefs.
I thought that they would have enough to get the job done, and
it
they
made
did.
sense. It made sense, especially because of last year.
Right, I felt they was gonna come
Well,
back.
last year they
year-
got destroyed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and
They're
no.
not as competitive last year.
Oh.
It was the Chiefs' defense that was worrying me a little bit.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Bad.
And I
This
said,
year or last year?
last year.
Oh, okay.
No, this year's Chiefs' defense was a little rocky.
Right.
But
They went on the run and got about
Yeah.
7, 8 wins in a row.
Right.
But I said, if somebody could put pressure on that secondary,
It definitely.
and then when Honey Badger went out
Yeah.
with the concussion, I said, okay, this is wide open back there.
Right.
And slowly but surely, Davis caught 4 touchdowns. And I think
So
if Honey
record,
Badger
that was
was
a
there, he
record.
don't catch that many.
Yeah.
Which is what you said.
Which is what I said
Yeah.
earlier, where Diggs was the decoy. Because I was like,
Yes.
why they not going to Diggs? But they went to Diggs on that 2-point play. You threw it to them, and he was covered. He was double teamed.
Yes,
And
yes.
he still caught it.
For Diggs though, he had a pedestrian game.
Yeah, but that was
Yes,
fine.
but that was fine.
That was fine
Because
because
Davis made up for it.
right. Davis
He
made up
almost
for it.
had 200 yards.
Side note: Davis is the first wide receiver
With 4
in
touchdowns.
league history to have 4 touchdowns in a postseason.
But I don't even know who this Davis kid is. It's the first time I hear him.
But now he's a star.
Yeah,
And in the biggest game of his career,
he showed up.
he showed
showed
up.
up.
They showed up.
Um,
25 points in the last 2 minutes of that game.
And
scored.
Yes.
Emmanuel Sanders also showed up in terms of like slot plays. And
Yes.
Right.
he got a couple of slot
I
passes.
think. Here's the thing: there was a few things even before we got to the 2-minute warning at the fourth quarter where they both split for 25 points. Those 3rd and 1s where you was doing the quarterback sneaks was dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't like those plays.
Yeah, I didn't like that
for,
either.
for Buffalo.
For
It
Buffalo.
probably could
We
have
kept
changed
saying-
the momentum.
But
Wow.
they started the game very aggressive.
Very aggressive. I'm not really complaining about that, but there were certain times where it's like, yo, why are you doing that particular? Like, I'm just mad about that particular play.
Because you got to remember, he's the running back as well.
Right, because they don't have no decent.
Because they don't have no real decent running back. So the only thing
Which is why New England was exploiting them
Right. Yeah.
in that game
Absolutely.
where they was running at 45.
No, absolutely.
I understand what you're saying about those plays, but he made up for it with the 4th and 12.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was the
Right.
play of
Right.
their season right
Yes.
Because on 4th and 12, I'm thinking, okay, who just don't. All you gotta do is not let him get
Yeah.
the first down.
Yeah.
Hikes the ball, and once again, Romo. I don't know how you be doing this because Romo calls the play right before the quarterback. He's like, yo, he's probably gonna go right here, and we'll see what happens. Same thing, hikes it. Same play, Romo calls. I'm like, who he's gonna throw it to? Because that was a deep throw. I'm like,
Yeah,
who is he
because
looking
it was
for?
it was out of our screen. So
Yeah.
we
Right,
couldn't
so we
really
was like-
tell.
And
Yeah,
then
we took-
Davis was wide. I said, who let Davis?
Yeah.
Right.
Nah,
wide
when
open?
that touchdown happened, 4th and 12,
Yeah.
I remember Dad and I, we
Yeah, we were
ran
screaming,
out.
yeah.
We was running.
And no worries for Patrick Mahomes.
No, because it was still a minute and 54
So
seconds.
he
left.
gets on the court and only takes 50 of the seconds
right.
to go down and hit Tyreek Hill on a slant.
and it was a holding. I thought it was gonna be a flag at first. Somehow he threw it perfectly to Hill.
And Hill just got in the pocket and hit the Jets.
But side note though, it should have been
a penalty
because he did the
peace sign.
But I think they it was one of those. We're not gonna really call that.
You can't call that.
I didn't even see the peace sign.
Before he got in the end zone, he was like,
like at the 20-yard line, he was like,
So normally they bring the touchdown.
But I
back.
think that was in the first quarter they would have called it. But because there was like a minute left in the fourth, you like.
But see, my thing is the rules shouldn't change. They should be what they are. But I understand. You look the other way.
Right.
Fine.
Sort of like in basketball. Same thing,
So now it's a minute and 2 seconds left.
Right. And like you said, they showed the camera and Josh was like, yo,
Josh was on the sideline. Don't worry about it.
We got 3 timeouts. Let's go.
And then he marches down the field and he throw a touchdown.
Yeah.
With 13 seconds left.
To Davis again. I'm like, how is Davis?
I was like, bro, we win this game. Yes.
I'm like, Eli, pay
us, bro. Pay us.
Money. Now, the kickoff comes.
Okay, right. So Patrick has 13 seconds left. Right?
I'm saying to myself, okay.
But I thought, too, if anybody can pull this off, it's Patrick Mahomes.
I'm like, there's no way humanly possible he can pull this off.
Because he also had, unfortunately for them, they had 3 timeouts. So I'm thinking.
Okay, the timeout is cool, but I'm like, listen, if you pooch kick this ball.
Right.
Spike kick it.
Or spike kick it, either they have to catch it.
And then go down.
And that's a second or 2.
Right.
Or
you just make
if
sure
you
they
kick
don't
it
get
up
past
and just kick it to the 9-yard line.
Right.
And they gotta fair catch it.
Right.
Now they gotta go a long distance in 13 seconds.
Right.
The minute he kicked it to the end zone, I'm like,
and
this
if he beat
Patrick
you like
Mahomes,
that,
bro.
like if they're on the 10,
he just gotta make 2 throws.
Right.
And sure enough,
if they on the 10, back to your point, if they on the 10 and Patrick Mahomes does a crazy throw, like 50, 60, 70 yards,
which is what you
and
did.
he beat you. You gotta take it.
Yeah.
You gotta, he beat me like this. There's nothing we could do.
Ironically, against Tom Brady, we was up by 3 with 32 seconds left. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna bomb it that far down the field. Cause they was like at the 15. Cause we did exactly what Buffalo was supposed to do.
Right.
They was at the 15. They had to go at least 60 yards.
Yes.
Just to get into field goal range.
Right.
And he bombed it twice, and I'm like, yo, my defense, how do you?
Yeah.
As great as that Bill defense is, how do you let that happen?
Now, here's the thing, too. The Bills had the #1 defense in the league.
Right.
So maybe the coach is saying, listen, guys.
Yeah. Maybe
you're the #1 defense in the league.
But you gotta think about it.
If you can't give me one stop.
They
tired.
Yes. And their tackles were getting, the whole game, it was like, tackle.
Yeah.
Tackle. Like, why are you not tackling?
Right. It started
was
getting
like
sloppy.
the tackle.
Started getting
the
sloppy.
sloppies were like, they would tackle enough, but they wouldn't bring them down. Like,
half tackle.
Once again, Romo called it. Said Kelsey might do a up and slam.
Yeah.
And they showed the audio where Kelsey tells Mahomes, like, yo, whatever route y'all just called, I'm probably not gonna run it.
Right.
So then right before he hikes, he's like, yo, Kelsey, do it. Whatever you about to do, just do it. I'm going to get you the ball, just do it. And then he's like, hike. Boom. And then he got an extra 10 yards.
Yeah, and that was it.
And that was the kicker. That was fair.
Now, mind you, the kicker.
I was like, all right, this could all be great and all, but the kicker just missed a field goal. Like,
he left
4 points off the board.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, he's going to miss it again.
Yeah.
He didn't miss this one.
And then it boiled down to the coin toss. I think they need to change this rule, guys.
Okay,
Even though they changed the rule a few years ago, because it used to be the first person that scored, whether it was a field goal or not. I can't see how both teams not touch the ball.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
that's a little not fair.
And just to put into context, both quarterbacks combined for 700 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 touchdowns.
And 8 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns.
With no interception. This is the first.
They didn't throw it.
They didn't throw a pick.
Or no fumble. Just.
Yeah.
That was. They said that was the first time a quarterback's done that in like maybe 20 years.
Yeah.
Between two.
When we talk about a phenomenal game.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Too, we should switch this rule because it's not fair. Like, I would have loved for Josh to get a chance to tie it again.
Right. Now, from this point, whoever gets 3 or whatever wins the game.
Okay,
yes.
because the only thing is,
Or if they
you don't want
stop
the
you,
game to
if
go
they
too
stop
long.
you,
No, how about you put that rule in only in the playoffs?
Okay.
So in the regular season,
because
that's fine.
yeah, that's fine.
Because I'm not trying to have. Because remember, a team that we're about to face next week has a day and a half off.
Yeah.
So we're trying to wrap this up as quickly as possible.
It don't matter. They'll be ready. And I saw.
You don't think the winning team would be a little gassed after playing 10 minutes?
It is what it is. You playing
The
for your
adrenaline,
season.
bro. The adrenaline, like
playing
I'm
for
about
your
to
season,
win,
bro.
like
Yeah.
And I saw the same thing happen to Mahomes 3 years ago because Brady won the coin toss, and Mahomes never got off the bench.
Right,
and we know had he had an opportunity,
he probably would have. Yeah.
You know, so
they said
it would be dope. Like let's say Mahomes get the ball, they score it, and then the Bills get the ball, but then there's a 4th and out, and then 4th or whatever, they don't convert. Boom, game over.
Game over.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because that's even though we're in overtime,
It just makes more sense, and it's a fair play for everybody.
Now I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate because even though they was in overtime, you're still a number 1 defense.
Yeah.
You get a pick or a fumble, now you got a shot.
But that still applies.
Everything gotta.
But that applies to either team.
Right.
Whoever win the coin tosses, the other team get an interception, a fumble, game's over.
Right.
It just gotta be. Everything gotta flow right. You gotta get the right call, like you know what I mean.
Because you sitting there going, "Damn, Josh was hot."
Right.
Because when it was 13 seconds left or something, I was like, all right, watch him throw a pick. And he didn't throw the pick. So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And he was like, Fredy, don't say that. Don't say that. Because early on in the season,
He was
getting criticized because all these
he was
picks he was
throwing a lot
throwing.
of picks. They said real quick. They said the winner of the coin toss was
10-1.
10-1. They said the only team to win the coin toss and loss was the Saints
that year
against the Rams.
Yeah.
Because Drew got his hand hit and threw a pick to the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of coins, why you always be picking heads? You
Because-
always pick tails, bro.
No, you never pick tails.
Yes, you do. It's a rule.
No,
Right?
it's not.
I picked tails.
I picked heads.
But that might be a team decision before you get out there and go, yo, we going tails, baby.
all the successful coin flips have always been heads.
That
So when
is
I'm
false.
thinking,
That is false.
I'm thinking I'm thinking
Tails never fails.
Josh
bro.
Allen
That's
being the
the
visitor. The ref was asking you, yo, make your call. Always go with heads. Because the moment
No,
he said
bro.
tails,
Tails
I
never
heads.
fails. Tails never fails. It's like right is always right. Tails never fails.
You always go with heads.
No, you don't, bro.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Able.
All right, so let's get in. We only got two
Podcast.
games for predictions.
Oh, yeah, for predictions, yeah.
So, first game is going to be,
First game, Bengals at Kansas City.
I got Kansas City winning
3
that.
Yeah, I do too.
Now, Bengals beat Kansas City
Yes.
in the regular
4
season.
weeks ago.
But then again, it's.
But I don't see,
But that was 4 weeks ago.
and I don't see, I don't know if the pass rush of the Kansas City Chiefs is going to get the Burrows 9 times.
Even if they do half of that.
But I'm going to take the Chiefs in a close one. I think it's going to be a close game.
Even if that's the only reason why I'm like giving the slight edge to the Chiefs, only because I feel like that offensive line that Joe Burrow has is
suspect.
It's
It's suspect, yeah.
A little suspect.
And they already gave 9, so like they're most likely gonna give a minimum of 4. I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
4 or 5.
Right.
And
4 or
that should be
5.
enough for a good team.
And that's enough. Like if you get Tannehill the ball
Yeah.
9, 8 times, how many times you gave the ball to him? He's not.
Yeah.
You can't give Patrick Mahomes the ball 9 times. Like it's just not.
Yeah.
He's gonna score.
Who you have in that game?
7 out of 9.
I have the Chiefs.
So we all have the Chiefs?
I have the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
but I'm not. I want the Bengals to win, but I'm giving the edge to the Chiefs.
I'm giving the Chiefs by 14 points.
Okay, 2
And
touchdowns.
you imagine Joe Burrow at the Super Bowl with the glasses,
Oh,
with the swipe,
cigar.
the cigar. Come
Yeah,
on,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Now his time.
No, Patrick Mahomes
No, that's not gonna come.
he's
He's too poised.
superhuman.
Yeah, and they know like and they're finally healthy. Cause remember,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not a lot of people give.
Well, we don't know Badger, Honey Badger.
No.
Oh, he's
No,
not.
that's just concussion
he'll be fine.
protocol.
Oh, okay. So
I'm talking about, and I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about their offensive line. Because now
Yes.
we talk about, I gotta remember, they had to replace 5 of their offensive linemen
Yeah, because
last year, which is why Patrick got so pressured by the Buccaneers defense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you protect your quarterback, I think he scans down the field. Even with that, he got in the red zone 6 times.
Yeah, yeah.
So for the first time, except for
because Patrick, it takes him a little longer to read the actual play that
Yeah.
he's doing.
Right. So I think with them being fully healthy, they're gonna win. They're gonna go back to Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
I
think we
don't
all
even
have
think this
them.
is really gonna be a competition unless the defense just gives Joe Barry 400 yards again.
Yeah, he could. I mean, this is a very good quarterback. He's Josh Allen.
He not.
Don't forget it. This ain't
not
no.
phased. Like
Yeah.
he won't get sacked. He'll throw a pick and then go right back down and throw a touchdown. Like he's
Yeah,
not. He don't
yeah,
care what
right.
he throws, unless he like makes.
And the second
progress.
game is gonna be 6 o'clock. 49ers at Sci-Fi.
I think the 49ers have beaten him like 4 or 5
6 times in a row.
6 times in a row. Jeez.
Because you was right. Because I thought the Rams won that last game of the season. They didn't.
You know, I'm surprised the 49ers haven't used Trey Lance, like in a little sneak play or something
Dude,
like
it's
along those
playoffs.
lines.
I
know,
don't.
but I'm saying
I'm
like
not
a
trusting
trick
a
play.
rookie. I'm not trusting a rookie.
Like a trick play.
Nope, not trusting them. They beat them 6 times in a row, bro.
Because they came back from that 17-point deficit. I think there's
Dude.
no way they beat them a 7th time in a row, and especially a 3rd time in a year.
Yeah,
in the
that's
same
tough.
season. I think
I'm gonna take the Rams.
I'm gonna take the Rams by 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the
Yeah, I'm
Rams.
gonna take the
touchdown.
Rams either by like a touchdown or a field goal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a
Last
field
week.
goal.
I'm gonna
Rams by a field goal. They stay home
Rams
and they
by a
host the
touchdown.
Super Bowl.
And you gotta.
I'm going OBJ, baby.
Debo's not gonna be 100%, and you gotta put somebody on Debo.
OBJ gonna give you 100 yards.
First of all, ball.
He might.
He might, bro. He might. Stop hating. Stop hating. That's it. Stop hating. Stop hating. Stop hating. Stop hating.
Set 6
Stop hating.
catches.
Stop hating.
Yeah,
Stop
he had
hating.
some
Stop hating.
catches. Yeah,
You hating. You hating.
So those are our picks
Right.
for the NFC and AFC championship game to see who goes.
So
to the
Rams,
Super Bowl.
Rams,
and Chiefs. baby.
Rams.
which means the
Chiefs,
Rams
that's pretty
get
much what we
home
got.
court advantage.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be rocking.
Yeah,
Rams and
everybody in
Chiefs.
LA gonna be there. Dr. Dre.
Right.
Yeah.
the
Rams and
halftime
Chiefs,
show.
baby.
Okay.
Yep.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
All right, so let's talk basketball.
Yes, sir.
NBA is whack right now. Not whack, it's just that it's
It's
football.
football.
Yeah,
taking
football. Yeah,
over.
football
Yeah,
is taking over.
So Phoenix Suns are the team to beat, obviously.
yeah,
They rolling.
I feel like they should conserve Chris Paul. You gotta make him come off 6
Dude, no, first of all, he's too good to be a 6-man.
I know, but like, just conserve him. Like we were
He-
talking about this on the phone the other day.
Uh,
Just for the playoffs, like do
No,
like a little, like
no.
a little.
Dude, but his thing,
Because-
all his injuries have happened in the playoffs.
Exactly.
right, yeah. So that's not going to help.
That's not gonna
And
help.
I think they need to secure their team that needs the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
I don't think Golden
does- yeah.
State needs the number 1 seed.
Nah, they can win on the road. Golden
So
State.
I think
Golden State
Phoenix
don't care.
needs to know everything has to come through our house.
Right.
But your man had 2 straight games with no turnovers.
Oh yeah.
Just masterful.
And I'm watching them just to keep my eye on them.
Yeah.
They really concern me.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking
No,
about in terms of like
The way they playing.
the way they're playing.
improved from
They
last
have
year.
no weaknesses.
They really
Yeah.
improved from last year. You wanna know why? Because they picked up JaVale McGee.
yeah.
And Mutombo. I keep
And,
calling him Mutombo.
Yeah.
Biombo.
Biombo. Yeah.
Biombo. And that's going to shore up, make them a little tougher
And
down
that
the
gives,
stretch.
that gives a little breathing room for Aiden to like relax.
But that's my thing. And Aiden's like last 4 games he hasn't played.
Yeah.
It's because like he's trying to negotiate the contract. They're not trying to give it to him.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. 'cause
Yeah,
he
it's-
Ain't going to get his
fine.
money.
He gonna get it
He
eventually.
played his butt off last year. I
Yeah.
thought he should have deserved that.
Like Chris Paul gonna make sure he gets his money.
Yeah. Jason Tatum scored 51 points.
Yeah, against the
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in Jason, man.
He's in and out.
Yeah, he's in and out. He's not consistent.
Yeah, 1 game, next game, 14 points.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's
like,
got to get it
You
together.
the star of this team.
Right.
You
You
the
think
one.
he should be
You the number
traded
one.
to the Lakers?
They're talking Anthony Davis and Horton for Jaylen Brown
I heard.
and Marcus Smart.
I heard.
I'll take that deal.
I heard they're
Nah,
trying to
I
trade.
wouldn't take it.
They were trying to trade Thornton and Chris Nunn, but nobody wants them.
Nah. Well, Kendrick Nunn is going to be a good.
Well,
he
it's
hasn't
'cause he's
been-
injured,
He's been
bro.
injured.
Right.
I think if he play about 5 or 6 games and people see what he can do, LeBron will be like, you like this?
Yeah.
Because what the problem with that trade, the Boston trade would solve everybody's problems. Boston need a big man.
Right.
They wanted Anthony Davis before.
Right?
Yeah.
Lakers need a wing in
Right,
Jaylen Brown and Marcus
Marcus
Smart could
Smart.
defend.
And he could command the ball.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But
So
I don't think it's gonna happen.
no, it's not. It's
not
not.
gonna happen.
It's just dreamers.
I think the Lakers, they probably will go to the playoffs with this team. In terms of like
Yeah, I
16,
think that
17.
when Anthony Davis comes
If
back,
they cannot go up the Suns, I'll be happy.
Like if Anthony Davis puts up Anthony Davis numbers
yeah,
and
yeah.
LeBron is still giving you a little bit of cushion, like they could still make the playoffs and like compete. Because
Yeah.
come playoff time, they still gonna be they're gonna be a
Your
tough
man
out.
is
I don't want to talk about it, bro. I don't want to talk about it.
Guys, he
I
left
don't wanna talk
December 19th. And since then, since he's been back, since he's been in Colombia, his man has been playing complete garbage.
I can't even.
And no Russell Westbrook fans can defend him. So I love it.
I can't. The only good thing was the dunk.
Oh, Rudy
Yeah.
Gobert.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
That's
was
it.
nasty.
That's it.
Alex Caruso's out again.
Yo, Grayson
This
Allen.
Grayson Allen
Yo,
guy,
Grayson
man.
Allen. I
He's
will
a
punch you in the face.
He was dirty when he was with Duke. Man.
Yeah, I want to punch you in the
He's
face so
just
hard.
a dirty player.
Because Alex Caruso had just came off of
Yes,
IR.
yes.
Yeah, I was watching that game live,
And to me, it was the extra arm move.
Yeah.
Now, you try to block it, but when you do this,
And now you broke his wrist.
yeah, that's just
Come
bad,
on, bro.
man.
And you knew that. That's why I was saying, why did you like Grayson Allen with the
No,
box?
if he keeps it in order,
Oh, okay, if he keeps
because
it.
he can shoot and he's tough,
Right.
but he always crosses the line.
Right.
That's my problem with him.
Yeah.
Put his feet out.
And he
kick
has a
players.
face you do want to punch. Like if
He do have a face you want to just punch. He got that pointy nose and one of them little bully kids.
yeah, bro.
Yes, you do want to
Nah,
punch him
bro.
in his face. My problem is he doesn't know how to take it to the edge and stop.
Right.
Even tripping those guys in college.
Yeah, yo,
could've tore somebody's
yeah,
ACL.
Yeah, he used to do that a little too much for me.
Yeah.
one.
So,
Stephen Curry's in a shooting slump.
yeah, and now
Yeah, but
it's
we
not.
expect this though. I expect this.
I didn't expect this.
Why did you
Not
expect
this long.
Just because like he's trying to give Clay a little bit more touches. Like
Yeah, somebody
No,
said,
no, no,
Charles
like-
Barkley said, Clay is messing the team up.
I low key. I can't. I'm not gonna.
Like, since he's been back,
I'm not gonna say anything.
they've been losing.
I'm not
Like, them trying to fit him in,
Is-
because sometimes it ain't broke, don't fix it.
right.
So I was thinking what they should have did was
Bring him off the
bring
bench.
him off to start him one game, that home game he's first there,
Right.
then bring him off the bench,
Yeah.
let him get his conditioning.
Because
You throw him in the start lineup, he's chucking.
Yeah.
Boy, he's chucking
Yeah.
them shots.
Yeah.
And as a result,
Clay, I ain't even gonna bash you, but I'm gonna let you know.
now they got plenty of time to recover from it.
Yeah, that.
yeah, but I think Curry is in a point.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Curry's slump
did his
has
job.
happened way before Clay even came back.
Mm-hmm.
This has started from November 29th, right after the Clipper game when he hit 9 threes. And 2, he's getting his looks. He's just not hitting them.
Yeah.
It's coming off the screen. It's wide open shots. It's like, yo, that's
But that's a
Yeah,
mental
that-
thing.
that's
Something
true.
must be going on at home.
possible.
I don't want to get into his personal life, but
Because this might be saying some off the wall.
yeah, she
Yeah,
said
you're
some
right.
off the
They be
wall.
like, bro, why?
Yeah, why is she saying
Why are you
this?
saying this? This is why NBA had to shut you up 5 years ago when he
Yeah.
was the MVP. Which
Yeah.
is like, bro. But anyway, no, I think Clay should come off the bench because I like Poole better than the starting lineup. He's worked,
because he don't need the ball. You know what I mean?
doesn't
He plays
need-
off the ball.
and then because we still got like what 55, 60
Yeah.
games left.
No, still got about 40.
40?
38 games,
30?
37.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the Warriors will get it together by then.
And Draymond's not back yet, so now,
And then you got to
And
add the
Wiseman
fact.
not back either.
So you got to add
Right.
all those factors in.
You know what I mean? And then they might make a move here and there.
But now
So, like-
I'm starting to really get concerned with Curry's production. It's like because this.
But I feel like in his head, I don't know what he's thinking, but I'm thinking, okay, at the beginning of the season, the first 30 games, 20 games, I'm going to secure our top spot, at least top 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to shoot 30 times a game if I have to. I don't care. I'm going to get my, you know what I mean? Until Clay come back, and then I'm a little push off the gas. I'm a struggle. It's not like he's like you said. He's not getting bad shots. He's just not making.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like he's not doing anything wrong. It's just they're not going in.
Right.
Anthony Davis returns for the Lakers. I guess that's.
That's
something.
Let me ask you:
something.
would you go for the Westbrook John Wall trade?
Yes,
No.
I would.
No.
I would.
No, I would.
You wouldn't just because you're a Westbrook fan.
Okay, independent of my bias, I would not, because John Wall is not doing anything. He's not even playing.
But he's not playing not because he's not healthy.
So I know Lakers are 42-29 to the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Well, where is it? Is it in LA or is it?
It's in Brooklyn because remember they smoked him in LA.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis had 6 points and 3
Yeah, Kevin Durant
blocks.
not there. It's only James. And then I heard today that James is going to test free agency because he's.
He don't like Brooklyn.
He likes living in Brooklyn. He just don't like the Kyrie
he don't like
situation.
Brooklyn. They say
He don't like the
living in
Kyrie
Brooklyn.
situation.
They
So wait,
say
why did
don't
he
like
want to go
Brooklyn.
there in the first place?
No, he wanted to get out of Houston. And with the Kyrie situation is really pissing him off, as it should.
Yeah, no, because
To each his own.
he's low-key been throwing shots at Kyrie
Yeah.
at the press conference.
Yeah. And with that being said,
But he just
Joker.
wants the chip. He just wants it.
Yeah, Joker's gonna win the MVP again. I'll give Embiid a shot.
The MVP to me has lost a little bit of value.
It has.
Just
Yeah.
because like the MVP, it doesn't really influence the playoffs.
Yeah, it has. It has.
You know what I mean?
Probably since low-key, because
Probably since Giannis won it, like the last time Giannis won it.
right, because
would
when
say-
Giannis won it, did he win championship? Or did he win it all?
No.
That was last year. No,
No,
he went
the
far.
year
He went to the
before.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
But like I'm saying, in terms of competing in the playoffs,
But
it doesn't really.
it's the most valuable player of the
That
regular
is true.
season.
Right, that's true.
It's not the valuable player of the playoffs
That's true.
because that's usually the person who wins the title. Usually.
Yeah, that kind of irritates me because both of my picks are not going to win it. I had Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. Kevin's out for 4 weeks, maybe 5.
Yeah.
And Curry's been playing like Curry, so.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled.
All right, let's talk culture a little bit.
podcast.
Artist of the Year is Drake. Clap that up.
Yeah, double XL.
Double XL. The lyricist of the year went to J. Cole.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Like that.
That album was fire.
Yeah.
Yep, that album was fire.
Best
I'm
male
surprised
artist
Drake got that. I'm not gonna hold you. I thought it was gonna be like Kanye or something.
Yeah, best male
went
artist.
to Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Album of the year went to Certified Lover Boy.
Hey, I don't know how I feel about that. It's a good album, but I don't feel like it deserves.
It's actually, it grew on me.
No, it definitely has.
It really
but like Drake
grew
does
on-
this.
But what happens was, the longer I play it, like deep down in the catalog, I'm like, that's a smash.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
like,
hit.
like the song with Tim's, the Fountains one.
Yeah, that's a hit,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
So,
Like,
Nah,
no.
that deserves to be album of the year.
but I thought Donda, because of the level of creativity.
Well, remember this isn't.
Yeah.
But remember this isn't Grammys yet.
No, I know, but still, I still thought
But it's like a
Donda-
predecessor before the game.
Yeah,
Right,
should have been there.
And Doja Cat won
Best.
Best Female.
Because Card is not out yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll ever come out. Like,
Oh no, she's
what's
eventually-
Nah, she got to though.
What's
She just won a lawsuit, so
You know how much money?
But wasn't she supposed to drop her second album already?
Yeah, but I feel like
Sometimes.
COVID and then she
yeah,
got
it's a lot
pregnant,
going on.
you know
The
what I mean?
baby. Did she have another baby? Yeah. She's doing her. She's doing her life right now. In sadder news, Regina King's son died by suicide.
Yeah.
So we want to send our deepest condolences because mental illness does run very deep. You know,
And she loved him a lot.
and that was her only child. She was 26 years old. And so we got to call on your friends when you can to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
And Nick Jonas and Priyanka,
Yeah, his wife.
his wife, that's his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, and they had a baby via surrogate.
I'm surprised. I didn't know it was Sarah.
Maybe she didn't want to carry it.
And Nick Jonas has type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
So I'm
So
thinking
maybe
that
he's
probably
thinking-
influences
Could
Right.
be.
Right.
the,
you're right.
because
You're right.
it's
You're right.
genetics and then he
You're
could,
right.
he could potentially
Yeah.
pass it on
You're-
to the baby.
See, I was smart. See, I didn't even think about that. That was smart.
I just thought about this now. I'm like,
yeah,
wait, there has to be a reason why they did this because I don't know her situation, whether or not it's fertile.
But that it might be Nick.
But like, it might be Nick influencing. Like, yo, I don't want the kid to like potentially have. But you could do tests to like genetically match like both of your genes to see like the chance, the odds. Like that's the thing now.
Yeah. Where can we be reached, guys?
We can be reached on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes at Disabled Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for when we post. All right? See you guys next week.
Next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Able with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands